So, I just found out tonight that a cousin of mine just died today. He is 55 years old. I don't know why yet. I know it wasn't like accidental. It was something health wise. He just gone, died. 55. That is not too far away from me. That is it's too close actually. Um, and oddly enough, his father many years ago, probably about 20 years ago, died at the same age. Uh, Cousin on my mother's side. And as I think about that, I kind of reflect on it a little, just absorb it. I'm not reflecting on it because it's too recent. Um, and I had this long day. I okay, to save myself an hour, two separate 1 hour drives to and from work, and the associated gas money expense. I crashed at my buddy's place, which is only 11 miles from my work, as opposed to the 57, 58 miles where I'm currently residing. So, crashed at his place. Crashed on the couch. What a fucking bad idea that was. Um, Woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and stayed up till 4 in the morning, wishing I had a different place to sleep. But, yeah, I didn't get much rest, and my back really hates that couch. So, anyway, had a long 2.5 hour meeting before work. We had to come in 3 hours early. And kind of a long, boring day, and I have the next 2 days off, and I'm not doing a fucking thing. Which I'm kind of like the guy on Office Space. um, when they asked him, what he did, and he says absolutely nothing, and it was everything I thought it was going to be. So I'm a big fan of absolutely nothing, and I encourage absolutely nothing. Actually, you really should do absolutely nothing sometimes. You should. It's it's better than it sounds. It really is. Uh, Life has gotten exponentially faster in the past century, probably throughout history. When we use the term exponentially, the you know by a factor of it's you know when we made the wheel, we made the wheel into a vehicle, and then when we made an engine, we put that engine in a vehicle, and less than a century later, we're flying through the sky on engines and going to our satellite, the moon. Um, it keeps speeding up, the faster it gets faster. And I guess it could be momentum, I guess you could say. So, life, I think, for younger generations, uh, one of the phenomena that happens when you get older is um, the time seems to go by faster. It's true. As I've gotten older, I've noticed, you're like, oh my God, it's April already? Wasn't it just December? So I'm sure that phenomenon has something to do with it, but uh, when you're younger, you know, the summer seems short, yes, but it really, at the end of it, it seems short. But when you're in the middle of it, it does go on forever when you're young. But life's just getting faster and faster and faster. Um, we've got computers in our pocket that are ridiculously powerful. I love it when people are standing around in a group and somebody who says, "Who was that guy in that movie? You know, that movie?" And then everybody sits around trying to figure it out, and I'm like, reach in your pocket. You got the universe in your fucking pocket. You got the whole world's knowledge right at your fingertips, and you don't think about it, but you do. I think that's not going to be. I think it's going to be more present and more acceptable when it becomes more innate. And when I say more innate, I mean, you know, things like Google Glass or implantation or something like that. When it's absolutely 100% a part of our daily life, and it takes no more effort than to go, you know, hey, computer in my head, or a computer on the chip in my head, or a computer on my wrist, uh, or computer on my glasses. Who was that guy in that movie? And it says it 5 seconds later. That's when I think people will stop trying to figure something out and just ask the universe. Google, as it were. You know, I work with smartphones all day, and the Google phone, Google, you know, the Nexus phones that are the Google branded phones. They come with this inherent thing. It's absolutely built into the operating system. You can access it on your Android by using the Google Now function. You just click onto that, and you just go to the phone and go, "Okay, Google, who was that guy in that movie?" And it answers. You don't push any buttons. You just look at your phone and say that. So it's getting closer. But life is moving faster and faster. And I think doing nothing once in a while is a pretty good fucking idea. Because it gives you time to realize you just got this one shot. And even though you got all the answers in the universe in your pocket, it's not going to answer the question of why your 55-year-old cousin just dropped dead. And I have the feeling that when he was taking his last breaths, the thought probably went through his mind, if he had time to even think about it, that I probably wish there was more time for him to do things like doing absolutely nothing. So, do that for yourself. Do absolutely nothing one day, soon. Get up when you get up, no alarms. If you want to make breakfast, make breakfast. If you want to watch TV, watch TV. But try not to answer your phone. Unless it's implanted in your head. Then you'll have to. Try not to get in your car. Because then you'll be doing something. Unless you have a very specific mission of driving around with no real aim except to look at the world. That's actually a fun thing to do. Especially when you live in a nice area, like I do. Yeah, try to do that for yourself. I appreciate the days with no obligation, no phone calls. It's not really a fuck you to the world, but it kind of is. It's like, hey, you world that wants to demand more and more and more from people every day, every minute of the day. Boss calling you after work, sending you emails on a Sunday. Fuck you. I'm doing nothing today. Fuck you. Fine. I endorse that sentiment. I encourage it. I think we need more of that. I think we here in the West have such a young culture that it's only been around for a couple hundred years, and the people over in Europe who've been around for a couple thousand years have figured it out. That's why they try to keep 4-day work weeks. That's why they take siestas. Fuck that commercial where the guy goes, we work hard, we work 60-hour weeks so we can get more. No, you're not getting more. You're just racing to the end. Do absolutely nothing. Really, let your brain absorb it. I have a feeling it's going to be everything you thought it would be and more. Be good to each other.